Were they? He eyed his surrounding, left, then right, then up, then down. People everywhere. Was the perp really going to show up? Or was he just toying with him like a cat with a mouse? When? Where would he be coming from? How could he make his approach? And why? The Shibuya Scramble was as packed as ever. Maybe I should move my stuff down. Let me move my stuff down. It was almost time. But nothing. Kano was starting to fixedly at the second hand on his watch when a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk murmured just loud enough for him to hear. "Come on, Kano, just quit looking at your watch so much. What if the kidnapper sees you?" Ugh. Kano tried to look nonchalantly as he lifted his eyes, but the scuffled character continued. "You're too nervous, just relax already. You're the one acting suspicious, Sasuma." Kanto frowned. Why would some homeless guy be talking to me? Really? Okay. Okay, Yurjai? Horrible at names. Sasaba, I like that, was the senior officer of the Shinjubai precinct, criminal affairs division, 5 years older than Kanto. Some words and phrases in the text appear in blue. Okay, thanks for the guide. These are called tips. Press square to underline a tip, then X. So press square. This will let you read some extra info relating to that word or phrase. Okay, cool. There are tips containing general knowledge and other ones that are 428 specific. These are marked with a magnifying glass and a 428 respectively. So highlight the tip, click X. Okay, precinct, official name, Shibuya Central Precinct, responsible for the safety of approximately 200,000 people in 32 neighborhoods, including that one. I'm not gonna say all those names, and that one. You can read them. I'm not butchering all those names. Okay, so he always went a little overboard with disguises. He claimed it was all part of the job, but word around the station was that he liked playing dress up. Who doesn't? Come on, it's fun. Hey pal, spare some change? Sasuma lunged lurched to his feet and scuffled in a close to Kanta. Hey! Hey! Knock that off! Fitting for the past, Sama reeked pretty badly. Well, ain't so suspicious now, huh? He's got a point. He clung to Kanta with mocking camaraderie, despite the younger man's attempt to pull away. Come on, Sama, cut it out. Sama, blithe confidence, rattled Kanta's nerves. Of course, there was good reason for that confidence. This was Kanta's and Sama's jurisdiction. Let's learn about that. A particular region over which an organization or a member of therefore has control or authority. Referring to here to the area under the jurisdiction of various police precincts of the metropolitan police department at the pinnacle of Tokyo. Police heritage has vastly more authority than local precincts, but since many officers wind up needing to work with both, the outright rivalry between the two isn't as notable as TV dramas may make it seem. But they were positioned a good distance from where the handoff was to take place. This okay, sometimes there's more than one tips. Okay, I got that. Good. Repeatedly we change which words are underlined. Okay, and I kind of figured that's how that would work. Okay. Okay. The statue of Hachiyato was surrounded by elite investigators from one of HQ's Special Investigation Division teams. Kanano and his partner were just there to provide backup if the kidnappers attempted to flee. Look, just try to relax. We'll be fine. Sasama gave him a wink. A moment later, the radio squawked in Kano's ear. Alright everyone, it's time. Keep your eyes open. I forgot to look at those things, didn't I? The voice coming in through the earpiece was Kanjo Kazi, HQ Operation Detective, an individual responsible for directing the investigation in the event of serious crimes. If the task force is set up, the operations director is the one who assumes command. TV dramas and other fictional accounts often feature some young prodigy from the MPDS operation direction, but in reality the position usually goes to a proven veteran. It's very informative. Until last year, he'd been Shimba's precinct head detective and Kano's supervisor. We don't know when the perp is going to make contact. Don't let your guard down. Kaza's lower, growly voice echoed in Kano's earpiece. You don't sound too worried, Kaz. Kano winced as Sasuma's words. How could the man be so nonchalant? The appointed time had come and gone. Something should be happening. Wham! Kano smacked himself in the thigh to release a little tension. The sound was louder than he intended, though the suit hid his muscular physique. It did little to dampen the noise. He needed to stay focused. He might be called to action at any moment. Could it be that guy with the phone? That other guy that's blurry? Or how about the old lady? No one suspects the old lady. The department handed an abandoned abduction case according to a certain standard investigation procedure. Was it attempt to extort money, or was the motivation something more personal? The answer to that question determined how they'd deal with the criminal. And based on the investigation team's initial findings this time around, they probably weren't dealing with a professional kidnapper. Or were they? Still, in a likelihood, it was someone with quite a long rap sheet. Probably someone who knew the family, but so far they had few leads to go on. Might bear such a grudge. With the situation so unclear, the plan was to apprehend whomever came to make the handoff on site. If the culprit ran with the money, there'd be no guarantee of the hostage's well-being. Still nothing, Sama muttered. There he is! He's here! Dun-dun-dun. As broke in his voice sparking into an excited chirp. I can really quirk. Whenever he gets overly frustrated, excited, or panicked, he slips into a childless, registered prone to babbling and pitching his voice. The subject is a young male in his 20s, wearing a bandana and an orange hoodie. Kaza, normally calm and stoic, has now squawked like an excited child. That only happened when he got particularly worked up. Kano and Sama, I'm really sorry about the names, steeled themselves. They could see the subject now. A 20-something male nonchalantly approached Whatever, to talk to her. Alright, people, be ready to grab this guy. Kaza was stationed in a mobile command center not far from the intersection, keeping tabs on the situation via video surveillance from the team's cameras. The young man started speaking enthusiastically to Himota. The detective watched, uncertain. Was this really the kidnapper? Ooh, I get to choose. You will encounter selections like these during the story. These choices will change the lives of other people. In addition to changing your own fate, use the D-pad to make your choice, then press X. The current choice will not impact you or any of the other protagonists. Okay. That's got to be him. Kanto took a step forward, then hesitated. The situation still hasn't entirely cleared. He needed to get a better look at things. I like that one. He needed to get a better look at things. The newcomer held a bundle of letter-sized papers which he showed Himomi? God. I'm terrible at names. As he went on talking. He tried to hand her one of the papers, but she pointedly ignored him. Undetermined, the man kept trying to force it down. Wait, I'm going to... He tried to put it on her. Motor refused to respond, becoming as motionless as the statue of that person behind her. Until finally the man gave up and walked away. Not our suspect. Guess it wasn't him. Connor felt the tension of the moment linger in his spine. Guy must have been hitting on her, Samos muttered. I mean, she is pretty cute and all. He had a point. Although, of course, something in Sama's voice made Kanto brace himself. She's got nothing on my Mai-chan. Mai-chan was Sama's wife. They've gotten married just last month. Oh. Let me tell you, Kanto, married life is the best. You gotta hurry up and give it a try for yourself. This was Sama's favorite topic lately. And Kano was getting more and more fed up with it. Sama, come on, just knock it off, okay? The phrase had become common refrain of his sentence. Frame of his sense. The department partnered them. Fine. Let's talk about your girlfriend then. Huh? Now? You can't be serious. Sama leaned in close again. What's she like? We're not having this conversation, Kano muttered, looking away. Oh, come on! Sama set his hand on Kano's chest, still playing the homeless troublemaker. Show me your phone. Let me see your lock screen, huh? Sama pawed for the phone. You've got a picture of your girl on your lock screen, yeah? I do not. But he did. It was scary how on the mark Sama's instincts were. Hey, cut it out. We're in the middle of an investigation. I'm investigating. Sama chuckled as he plucked the phone from Kanto's pocket. Ooh. His face scrunched up with astonishment as he looked at the lock screen. The heck is this? It's not... Ain't this... that person? Let's find out who that person is. A national star tends to play the heroine on national morning soap operas or in national historic dramas. Her songs have been a series of national hits, and she's even slated to host the year-end national singing competition program. Everything about her is national. Kano realized he had to bite the bullet. No, that's not that. No, that's my girlfriend. Her name's Rami, and she's... Sama cut him off. You're telling me this ain't that person, the famous actress? Because this right here is that famous actress, I'm telling you. Like I said, you sly old dog, trying to make like you're dating that person. I'm not. I mean, I guess Rami does kind of look like her. Sasma let out a huff. For real? You really think I'm gonna fall for that? There's nothing to fall for, I swear. Sasma scrawled unconventionally. He didn't believe him. Alright, then why don't you marry her? Kana stammered, but he had no answer. The truth was, he would have happily married her already, but there were obstacles that needed to be overcome. Okay, playtime's over. Let's focus on the job. Sama handed back Kanto's phone and turned his gaze back to Himoto. Kana let out a quick, easy sigh, but his shoulders did feel looser. Maybe Sama's had been trying to relieve a bit of the tension. Starting to triple over my own words. Maybe he should be grateful. By now, several minutes had passed since the guy with the paper had gone away. He peered at Himoto. The strain on her face was visible. In addition, the weight of the case itself, the 10,000 yen bills it held weighed close to 6 kilos. Her slender arms must have been getting tired. Still, she refused to set the case down. She wasn't taking any chances with her sister's life. The kidnapping case had been begun the day before, around 7 p.m. This is MPD Dispatch. Shibuya Precinct is reporting a missing person believed to be abducted. We all know what the word abducted is, so I'm not gonna. Subject is Maria, a 19-year-old student at the academy, seen at the LL dinner near campus. Was allegedly seen forced into a car nearby. All officers in the vicinity report to the scene at once. Kano and Sama had been working a burglar case in Ginma's 5th district when they got the call. Once again, I am sorry. That's not the correct name. I'm sorry. Maybe one of these days I will actually speak right. But until then, thanks for sticking around. The two arrivals at the LL... The two arrived... See what I mean? The two arrived at the LL dinner at 7:15 p.m. At roughly the same time, several other officers showed up to secure the area, blocking off entry to the nearby roadways and monitoring the surrounding establishments. Because I can read well, I swear. So now we're going for inside. Interesting. Inside the restaurant, Kano and Sama were met by the girl who reported the kidnapping. It was the victim's twin sister, who we've met. Could you tell us about when Maria was taken? Starting from the very beginning. Kana said, keeping his voice low. I'm sorry. The very beginning. My sister, and I were supposed to go to a party together today. Himoto was trembling, her voice coarse. But I messed up the time. I showed up right at 7, an hour later than I was supposed to. So Maria had gone alone to the party, a mixer for locals and exchange students. Himona arrived late, had showed up just in time to glance out through the restaurant window and see her sister get shoved into a car. She described the vehicle as a blue station wagon of Japanese make. Why? Why would something like this happen to her? Mura held back her tears, but she was shaken all over. Did you get a look at the kidnapper? Yes, it was a man, middle-aged. There was another eyewitness, Leland Palmer. It's the guy! Get him! He identified himself as a lecturer at Emoto in Maria's school. I saw too. It's like Himoto says. I hear Himoto's cry out, and so I went to the window to look, and his Japanese was halting, as if he had been in the country as if he hadn't been in the country very long. And I think that maybe the kidnapper was working alone. Leland explained that he'd seen the man shove Maria into the back seat, then climb over the driver's seat. If he had accomplished this, he wouldn't they have been driving? Neither Himoto nor Leland had gotten a look at the suspect's face. Kano interviewing others who had been on the scene looking for the potential eyewitness or witness when his phone rang. It was Yoshimo. Something like I'm gonna call him Yo. One of the senior detectives. We're setting up a task force for the investigation. Get back to the station at once. You have a handle on the situation there. Barely half an hour had passed between the time the kidnapping was reported and the time the task force began to operate. That seems fairly not that long. When Kano and Sasama had gotten back to the precinct station, whatever, Kaza had already arrived from HQ. He informed them that a response team had been formed to investigate the victim's home. That was really fast. Kana could feel a particular tension in the air. Unfamiliar MPD detective scurried to and fro and around Simba's office. He pulled one of them aside to get a quick update. An hour had now passed since the kidnapping. There had been one new development. The perpetrator had made a threatening call to the victim's home. He said the following: "Tomorrow, 10 a.m. by that guy in Shinjiba. Have the sister Himota break 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeited." I like bananas. That's a good banana. A little coffee. It's bananas. Everybody has a picture of the girl? Okay, cool. Kaja. That's yo from the precinct was put on the response team along with detectives from elsewhere who'd received special training in abduction cases. Normally, a local precinct detective wouldn't have gone undercover in a victim's home. Kaja, however, had decided that having a knowledgeable local was crucial and had sent Kajina along. Excuse me. The detective disguised themselves as delivery people and movers to make their way inside without arousing suspicion. Arriving there at 8:30 p.m. The response team had come prepared to run a trace if the kidnapper contacted the family for a second time. But there were no further calls. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Safe. Kano checked his watch again. 20 minutes had now passed since the time designated for the ransom handoff. The kidnapper had yet to appear. Crap, you think we might have spooked him? He wondered aloud. Hey, stay calm. Sasama scanned the passing. He's just playing with us. Why'd this guy even pick this place? Kanto's voice voiced the question he had been asking himself ever since he heard the kidnapper's demand. Sama shrugged. Figure he must want to blend in with the crowd, nabbing the money and disappearing before anyone knows he was there. Would be my guess. In that case, why not pick Shinjuku? I think I said that right. Shinjuku. I did say that right. Or Jinzama. I don't think I said that right. The big crowd didn't just benefit the kidnapper after all. It also allowed the police to use the sea of people to conceal their own operatives. Right now, there were 50 detectives stationed within a 50 meters radius where Himoto stood. The kidnapper would be taking a major risk if his plan was to nab the ransom money and run. That's a very lot of people there. That's what bothered Kanto. Any criminal with half a brain would have known better than to do a handoff in front of that place. You're overthinking things, pal, Sama rumbled. No, I'm not. Hano reached into his pocket and pulled out his notepad. This was Kano's Dick diary. What? Wait, what? Is this his little black book? Which he always kept close at hand. Sama rolled his eyes. That thing again? Kana ignored him and flipped through the note pages. Ha! Here it is. What? Dicterium. The more irrelevant something seems, the more relevant it's bound to be. What is a dictum? 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 Okay, dictum. Number 98, 89. 98, 89. It was a favorite saying of Kazu Tanto, a assistant inspector from the Shibuya precinct. Taton was the kind of detective Kanto aspired to be. Ah, yes. For the current operation, he'd been placed in charge of Himoto's personal safety. He was in position to defend her as soon as the ransom had been handed off. Of course, Himoto hadn't been informed of how much protection she was under. So there was a risk that if she acted too secure, it might alert the kidnapper. I think Tanto has the right idea. Sama snorted quietly. Maybe I mean he's a great detective. Don't get me wrong. But do you know how many irrelevant things there are to consider? Again, Kanto ignored him. It didn't matter if nobody else understood. Kana had faith in Tate. I'm gonna call him Tate. As both detectives and as individuals. He had first witnessed Tate's brilliance during a standoff at financial company 3 years earlier. Am I going to look at that? Nope. A man had shut himself in an office, splashing gasoline everywhere and threatening to set the place ablaze. While the others hesitated, Tate unflinchingly doused himself with gasoline and strode into the building where he managed to talk the man down and secure the scene. The others had been awestruck by Tate's action, and Kano had, who at the time had been content to be a run-of-the-mill police officer, had found it quite inspiring. I guess this is me, or this is him, when he was just a little pup. Still, you know, Sama muttered under his breath. Excuse me. As great as a detective as Tate is, it's not like anyone else in the world has ever heard of him. I suppose not, Kano. So, only time anyone ever hears a cop's name is if he's caught up in some scandal or killed in the line of duty. Kind of sad, but true. I mean, doesn't really seem fair, does it? I don't know, just shrugged. It was a strange definition of unfair, really. I mean, you got celebrity chefs and celebrity hairdressers and stuff. So how come no celebrity gumshoes, you know? Look, please. Can we just focus on what we're doing here? Kano rubbed his eyes, then turned his attention back to Imoto. What's the matter? Didn't sleep? Not enough, I guess. Did you eat? Didn't have time. between bringing in supplies for the base of operations, readying the team's vehicles, photocopying hundreds of documents, and I'm sorry, and various other tasks like falling asleep. Kano had barely slept the previous night and hadn't got a meal in either. "What have you been doing?" Sasmo puffed out his chest. Saving up my energy for today." "So you were sleeping?" Kano gave a wary chuckle at his partner's lack of shame. "There he is! Let's try this again!" Kazuo's voice choked in suddenly through Kanto's earpiece. A man in his 20s wearing a sleeveless red jacket. He's carrying a garbage bag. That's gotta be him, right? He's looking down. A young man emerged from the crowd about 15 feet from where Himoto was standing. He looked shroud toward her, a sinister look on his face. He didn't match Himoto's description, but Kano felt a jolt of nerves all of a sudden. All the same. Maybe the kidnapper had hired some young street punk to snatch the ransom payment. "That's our guy. What do you think, Kano?" Sama whispered. "Yeah, I think he's got to be." This was it. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat. He bent his knees ready to act fast. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing the stiffness that had begun to take hold. Could this be the culprit? Or perhaps... The young man tried to snatch the briefcase from Himoto, but she clenched it with desperate strength. It was him! Detectives rushed in. "Whoa! Hey! What the hell?" The young man cried out frantically and tried to dart away, but the officers closed in, forcing him forwardly to the ground. "Target secured!" "Oh, jeez. I think you got another suspect on the scene." "Eek! He's taking the ransom!" Kaza hysterically made Kanta spin around. Sure enough, a foreign-looking man was sprinting away, the case in hand. The mob of detectives scrambled to pursue. Before Kana could react, most of them had run off, leaving him to look after the original suspect. "I'm just gonna sit on top of you." "What should I do with this guy, sir?" "He might have some connections to the kidnapper. Should I bring him in?" "Huh? Oh, sure, that'd be swell." "That'd be swell." "I'm on it." The help of one of the remaining detectives, Condor brought the suspect back to Shibuya precinct. "Look, how many times do we have to go through this? Cut the crap!" In the interrogation room, the young man who gave his name as Achi Endo steadfast insisted on his innocence. Why'd you try to steal the case? Connor watched Achi's face attentively. Like I said, it looked heavy, so I was just trying to help her out. It wasn't inconceivable that a young guy would want to help a pretty girl. But he would have had just been standing there, hardly in desperate need of assistance. She hadn't set down the case. She hadn't set the case down. So I figured there had to be something important inside. An entry from Kano's diaries shot through his mind. Dick Diary number 25. When the tongue slips, grab it and yank it the truth. Ah, ah, ah. Classic advice for questioning. Something important you say, such as, "How the heck would I know?" Achi spat. He huffled and slumped back in his chair. The standard textbooks, eyeball, back and forth had been going on for nearly an hour. Kana didn't mind chasing down criminals. Was all well and good, but the questioning suspects was another key part of the job. Plenty of off-the-scene work went into cracking cases. Once again, he had Achi explain what he had been doing starting from the beginning. When Kana finally emerged from the interrogation room, for a short break, he learned that there had been some progress on the case at the yeah, okay. Stop tripping that word. Some progress on the case at the crime scene. What the police hadn't been able to determine yet, however, was whether or not Maria was safe. Fighting back his anxiety, Kantor consulted his Dick Diaries yet again. Dick Diaries Dictatum, number 54. Haste makes waste. Wait, that sounds familiar. He felt his tension subside. Remembering the right maximum. He felt the tension subside. Remembering the right maximum always helped. It was like casting a magic spell. Kanto returned to confront Achi once more. You were there to act as a distraction to mess up the investigation, weren't you? Huh? Achi looked a bit dumbfounded. What are you going on about? Dick Terran number 55. The truth hungers to be free. Hungers for the true freedom. You hungry? Got some katsudon. Ooh, it's Japanese dish consisting of white rice topped with breaded pork cutlet and egg. There are several varieties of such katsudon sauce, where the egg is replaced with oyster sauce, and miso katsudon, where the pork is stewed and miso not typical not typically the sort of thing a policeman offers a suspect during interrogation. This could be seen as baiting with food and is to be avoided, if you like. Aichi nodded silently. Oh, that looks so good. Aichi devoured the bowl of katsudon with gusto. He looked like he hadn't eaten in a while. Alright then, spill it. What is this guy after? Aichi shrugged. I don't know. He muttered a thick slice of egg laden pork between his teeth. How many accomplices do you have? Kano asked. But Aichi just shook his head as he inhaled his food. He resignedly flipped Kanto flipped through his notebook once more. Let's see here. Number 115. Use the light to your advantage. As the minutes thickened, wow, that's weird. Ticked past, he found himself referring to his book again and again, trying a dozen different methods to tease out whatever his suspect might be hiding. The experience had began to feel strangely surreal. Their two voices echoing, howling in the interrogation. Eventually, Kano looked at the clock and realized that the questioning had been going on for nearly 5 hours. Damn, this dude hasn't eaten since yesterday. He still hadn't made any headway. What was he supposed to do next? Tate would know. Tate would know anything. Tate is the god of knowledge. I mean, what? But he surely didn't. Still, he was determined to do whatever he could to keep the victim and her family safe. Gritting his teeth in frustration, he pursued the tick diaries like it was scripture. I said scripture. Number 116. The questioning was clearly tiring Aichi out. His eyelids dropped like they were beginning to get heavy. Number 117. Getting them while they're tired. Connor's eyes gleamed. You're part of some criminal gang, huh? Aichi's head slipped forward heavily. Nodding off was basically the same as nodding yes. Right? Kaza, I did it! The young man grabbed at the handoff site. He finally confessed the crime. I don't think so. I don't think that's how that works. What are you talking about? Gaza laughed in disbelief. We're just to apprehend the mastermind here. Huh? Kano clenched his cell, dumbstruck. Listen, why don't you, look, just wait there at HQ, okay? No, it can't be. I spent so much money on this guy. After the kidnapping case was wrapped up, Kano tended his oh man, he put in his resignation. Guess I'm not cut out to be a detective after all, he thought to himself. He dropped the Dick diaries on his desk as he left Shimmer's precinct for the last time. Okay.